to brag on my king. It is 116, Romans 116. We talk about him daily cause he run this thing. Can I do it? Can I do it? Yeah.
Hello, pretzels, and welcome back to the tripod. This week's tripod's going to be a little different. It's going to be a dual session. It's me and Stixy Drip. We're here to talk the week in wrestling, but we're going to focus on two shows this week. We're going to start with the A show. It's NXT's Great American Bash. They start off with a little pool party vignette. Sanga cannonballs onto Dookie. Pretty sure Dookie popped wood after that. We kick off the night with the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships being defended. It's Gigi and JC versus Cora and Roxanne. Wade all over Cora for not deserving this title opportunity, not making an impact here in NXT, he says. Mandy shouts insults at Roxanne, leading into the commercial picture-in-picture. Toxic A in full control during. Gigi puts Roxanne's mouth onto the bottom rope and kicks it as JC screams in her fucking face. Mandy's ejected for pulling the ref out. Wade is very upset, livid. Roxy with the pop rocks to Gigi for the win. We finally have new women's tag team champions, the only women's tag team champions in WWE. It is Cora and Roxanne, Stix. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I could have swore that when Roxanne won the breakout tournament, she said, now some girls cash in their opportunity for the women's championship, but I'm going to go for the tag team championship. I thought she declared her tag title shot right there instead of going for the main title. I don't know. Maybe I got to go back and rewatch it. But what did you think of that? And what did you think of the kickoff match to the Great American Bash?
A pretty good banger to start up Great American Bash. We had the first of three championship matches, and it was a good way to start off. We had Wade talking about, as you had noted, that Cora and Roxanne, why they didn't deserve this match, even though Vic was saying they went through a number one contenders match, so they did deserve it. I think that, I mean, it's been pretty stale in the women's tag team division. I mean, obviously we saw Katana and Kaden; they're the longest reigning women's tag team, and it'll be interesting to see how long they have Cora and Roxanne hold these. Obviously, last time Gigi and Jace lost, it was like, 3 or 4 days, and then they regained it from Raquel and Dakota. So, yeah. And with Roxanne holding the breakout star contract, that her proclaiming a women's championship match in the future, does that get in the way of her and Cora? And it'll be a fun little adventure that we go on with these two, because they are legit friends. So we'll see if they can hold on to those titles, or is this going to be a short-lived run to keep them on TV? But then we got to keep Toxic. We got to keep Gigi and JC on TV, keep them relevant. So, but all in all, nice little opener for Great American Bash, and pretty nice little way to open up the live premium TV event.
You know, it would be kind of sad, which I could see this happening, by the way, when Mandy does lose the title eventually. They're like, all right, just call him up. Just call him up. Let's put him on Raw. Come on, we need more women on Raw. And will they be as sexy as they were in NXT on USA, Monday nights? Will they allow the scantily cladness? And then if Toxic A leaves NXT, here we go. NXT's like, fuck. Here we go again. Get some more developmental sniz over here. We need to recruit. Thoughts?
Well, I I would hope that they wouldn't call them up. I'd like to see them get called up before like a major pay-per-view. Like I would like to see them go through, finish the year, and then Women's Royal Rumble, start calling them in one by one. And maybe if you think Mandy has progressed enough, maybe you have all of them help her to maybe at least the final 5 or 8 of the women in the Women's Royal Rumble. I don't think she would win it right away, but I'd like to see them at least make it through. And maybe if you think Mandy's good enough, maybe you keep Gigi and Ace down there, but you introduce a new woman, and then you have Mandy go up there and be like, I'm going to lay the groundwork for my fellow toxic A-ladies to make it up here. I don't know. I don't think they're ready yet. I don't think Mandy is yet. And I don't think JC and Gigi are, but I can see with JC and Gigi being a tag team and being two-time women's champions, maybe they call them up, because you've seen the stuff on wrestling Twitter that, you know, hey, the women's tag team championships of the main roster has been dormant for so many days, and with the rumblings that they maybe finally that they're done with Sasha and Naomi, maybe we start making a run. Maybe they start bringing up the more well-established. I don't know, but I would like to see them at least finish out the year and then get brought up for the Royal Rumble. That way you can timestamp it that they came up at the beginning of the year and we rolled it. I don't know, but WWE would probably bring him up after Mandy. If Mandy loses this coming up week, maybe they bring her up. Maybe they debut her on SmackDown. You know, maybe they do. Maybe they're going to start pushing all. You got Liv. Maybe they're going to start pushing who they think are main attraction ladies. Maybe they push them on there, or maybe they want to put them on Raw. Who knows? But I hope they don't.
Yeah,
have the fears you do too.
Trust me, I don't want them to go anywhere, but I see the writing on the wall. I mean, they love to dissect NXT immediately. As soon as someone gets traction, let's get them. Poor Dakota Kai had all the traction in the world, didn't make the cut. I'm guessing because of her lack of ass. I don't know. I digress. But moving on. Tony D talking to Brown Order minus Santos. Tony D claims he put Santos in the hospital, praises Elektra, threatens Brown Order if they don't impress, they'll end up like Santos. We'll get a pretty deadly video package hating on BJ, followed by Wes Lee versus Trick Williams. Float like a butterfly, sting like your Trick Willie, Wade says. Trick comes out with boxing robe, gloves included. Mello as Trick's corner man, because you got to be more careful. Seems like if they keep censoring it seems like they keep censoring whatever the crowd is chanting. I didn't catch it. Maybe it was Trick ass bitch. I don't know. But Wesley, always impressive. Every time he gains momentum, Trick does some nonsense. Mello distracts Wes as Trick gets rubbing alcohol and rubs it in Wes's eyes. Trouble in Paradise like kick for the win. It's kind of fucked up they did that to Wesley after the momentum he's been building, but I know they're trying to build a new feud. Possibly Wesley building maybe to a North American Championship match in the future, going after, to conquering Trick, and maybe then going for the man who don't miss. But Stix, what did you think of the Tony D segment and then the match, Wesley versus Trick Williams?
Well, I thought it was nice that we finally got Elektra back on our TV, because I know we had several promos of Legado and Tony, and we didn't, he'd make those the words of, Elektra, she's taking care of stuff down on the docks. So we got her filing the paperwork. It's finally nice that we saw her. I know Legado was talking about how legit those photos were. We're gonna see maybe some more tension. Maybe we'll get a finale to this. Who knows? And Trick and Wes, I agree with what you said, but I mean, they're building up Trick to be somewhat maybe of a legit wrestler because maybe, I don't know, maybe whenever they take the title off Mello, maybe him and Trick, maybe they'd be like, yo, you boys, we're going to go after them tag team titles. So maybe we get that. I didn't notice it when I originally watched it, but when I watched it the second time here, you know, Mello came out and carried that little pack. And I noticed it had 2 water bottles in it. And the more I'd watched it, it was like he had even kind of made he went to go grab the one that originally had that rubbing alcohol, and he's like, oh shit, no. He grabbed the water one when Trick was in the corner. So little shenanigans to help get Trick the win. Obviously, it allows West to say next week, hey, you had to cheat to beat me. So while we run it back. But West does have a really good future. I hope he becomes a singles champion. I hope they don't. I was worried that they were going to have him and Senga tag up, and then they'll become tag champions, and he'll become a 3-time tag team champion in his NXT career. But West can go singles wise, and it's nice that they're going to give him a little singles run that has Trick in it, because Trick will obviously have Mello out there, so it'll bring a little bit more spotlight to it. But little shenanigans for Trick to get the win. Obviously, we'll see if they run it back. And not a bad match to have after a championship match and after a promo.
Quick tangent here. Man, I would have loved to see Mello take on a Swerve. That would have been a fucking awesome match, dude. Especially since we've seen what Swerve has been able to do on AEW, but I've been able to see him wrestle in some different companies. The guy can go, man. The guy can go. Him and Mello would have been. We would have got that on the way out on Swerve's way out. Man, that would have been beautiful, man. It would have been beautiful. It would have been an excellent way to go out, but that was a quick tangent. Up next, Butter Putty getting makeup applied. Sleepy Chew attacks. They fight through the commercial picture-in-picture backstage. Chew wheelchairs her ass into some equipment boxes. They eventually fight their way to the stage. Not sure what Chew did with the grill. They make it to the ring and match starts. Still in commercial picture-in-picture. Butter Putty rocking that wedgie. Vic compares this match to Asuka versus Becky. Butter Putty ripping off Chaos. Oh, Chew's fake nails that I'm sure her mom did for her with a family discount at the salon. Butter Putty's lack of makeup did her wonders. Chew hits a full Nelson Uranagi for a near fall. Stratton's strategy of injuring Chew's hand pays off. Corkscrew Vader bomb for the win. Congrats, Tiffany. See, without the makeup, I'll call her Tiffany. Are there any other Asians she's going to target? She's only going after Asians. Is that why Io left? She's like, fuck that shit. Hi. No. What did you think of this match?
I thought it was a big win for Tiffany because I think she needed this win more than a Sleepy Chew. I mean, obviously with the gimmick that Chew has, she can take this loss and still be able to roll up on TV because I kind of use her as like a little gimmick to go in between segments. So this was a big win for Tiffany to keep her somewhat in the women's division, women's picture. So, and we know obviously they've made the point to it. She's very athletic. She's got Olympic gymnast qualities, and she shows it. And Sleepy Chew, I mean, she showed out, but Tiffany doing the pinpointing the arm, pinpointing the hand. It came back to bite Sleepy, and Tiffany getting the win. So it was a big win for her, and we'll see if this is over with, or we'll see if we'll get another match between the two. Hopefully they allow Tiffany to kind of move on and start building up towards getting maybe a women's championship match towards the future of when Mandy does lose.
What'd you think of the less makeup?
That was nice. She does need to do a little bit less makeup, but I'm not a woman. I'm not a guy who can, I'm not one that can classify as say a woman who needs less makeup or more makeup, because your boy could use some better facial stuff himself. But I thought she looked really good wrestling with less makeup.
On a quick side note, when Tiffany does move on from this shit, I believe she will be a future NXT champ, maybe conquering Roxanne. But I wouldn't doubt that they stick someone with Tiffany like a sidekick, because a good heel always has to have their partner in crime with them.
Well, I thought her and Grayson had a nice little chemistry back and forth. So I'd kind of like to see that kind of stay. Like, she helps him out, and then when it comes time for like a big match, he's out there to help her. I think that'd be a nice little dynamic to have back and forth.
That's true, and Grayson never won to stop the fuck shit to get what he wants.
Yep.
Up next, Cora and Roxanne interviewed backstage. They happy they're best friends and champions. Roxanne is cashing in her breakout tournament contract and going after Mandy next, to which I was confused. Braun approached by Grimes in the locker room. I sense some fuckery for later. What did you think of these two quick segments, Stix?
Nice little celebratory interview with the two. We do find out that obviously she didn't. I mean, like you said, you thought she did. I've always thought it's been kind of murky, because she's kind of always hinted at either doing it, or she's always been hinting that when Cora's been around her that, hey, I think we'd be great as tag team champions. So we got a little bit of clarity maybe. And Braun and Grimes, I thought he was going to attack him. I thought maybe we'd get another segment of him walking to the ring and getting attacked. It kind of gave off the shady promos. Maybe this is the new Cameron Grimes that we're going to get going forward, that he's one of those guys that, he's going to go straight to the moon. But he's like, hey, I'll do whatever it takes to win. And he made that point to Braun. So nice little thing to keep in the back of your mind going forward, that maybe Grimes isn't going to be a guy that you need that you can just kind of gloss over. So nice little time filler to move forward.
I was hoping they were planting seeds for the Grimes heel turn. I was like, come on, Grimes. Come on. We need old Grimey back. Come on, Grimes. Up next, Apollo Crews out, talks about his kids, talks about facing current NXT roster, and then Super Eichner interrupts, says he'll outperform Apollo. Apollo says, bring it. They're going to have a match next week, I guess. Ivy Nile interviewed about the Diamond Mine. Pax is arguing with Katana and Caden. They interrupted Ivy's interview. It wasn't going that well anyway. Ivy gonna work Pax's sniz out in the morning. Stix. Apollo, you still on board with Apollo, or you think it's getting kind of iffy?
Well, we found out Apollo's got kids too, so it'll be interesting to see where they go with them. I think this match next week, it'll be pretty good. I mean, both guys can go, so it'll be really interesting to watch that. And Ivy and Pax, maybe we're gonna get the form of a new tag team. Maybe we'll get Dim Bodies as a tag team. Maybe
they need it. They need more tag teams.
They do, and I think both girls can go. They just need a launching point. So maybe we get that next week.
I'm kind of a little, I wouldn't say nervous, I'd say slightly concerned that they're having the returning Apollo take on their new character, Vinny, Vici bullshit. Like, on one hand, you have two dudes who can fucking go. They are going to put on a hell of a show. However, which one can really take the L right now? Super Eichner or Apollo? And I understand Vinny, Vici, whatever the fuck, he's the heel in this. So that kind of opens the door for him to pull some fuck shit. But for Apollo to lose when he came back, I don't know. What do you think, Stix? I mean, who do you think has the advantage, and who do you think's gonna lose?
Well, I can see a scenario of Giovanni winning, but there being some fuck shit. while Apollo looking strong. So that way that next week he can come out, or he can run like another equalizer promo, be like, hey, you had to cheat to beat me. So I went and talked to upper management. We're going to run it back. We're going to run it back, and maybe they do either anything goes or anything like that. I think Apollo could probably take a loss, but it'd have to be like fuck shit eccentric. It'd have to be certified. And then they could run it back. And then, I don't know. I mean, I could also see WWE basically saying, well, Apollo, he's talked about being a North American champion, talked about being NXT champion. Giovanni, I could see them just being like, okay, we can see Giovanni just being mid-card high. And we see Apollo as a primetime main card guy. So maybe we have him lose, and then that just shows that he's still got more work to do. I don't know. But this is another scenario where they're going to put themselves in a corner. Okay, you got Apollo coming back down. He's talking about the unfinished business, but yet you got a rising star. So I hope they just do it. I just hope they do it the way that there's a fuck shit and they can run it back, or it's fuck shit and then maybe they bring it back around in a couple of weeks or so.
I think you're right. I think their first meeting will definitely be fuck shit certified, possibly a DQ, so Eichner doesn't take the loss. And then they, like you said, they run it back again, have a legit match. Maybe Eichner gets fucking rubbing alcohol left over from fucking Trick and Mello.
With that being said, Apollo will probably pin him clean next week after we've said this.
I know. Every time. Well, you're the only one who wins predictions, so you'll probably everything you said will probably just happen.
Just luck. It's just luck.
Up next, it's JD McDonald's video again. He'll be here next week. Braun checked out by Doctor in the back. We get the North American Championship match. Mello with Trick Willie versus Grayson Waller. Of course, he weaseled his way into this fucking match. Trick out on balcony announcing Mello. This was kind of cool. Mello gets the Bronson Reed pyro during entrance. Man, Mello's just money. Mello and Mella are both money. But yeah, Mello is a shining star. We see the main event Waller sign back in the crowd. Always makes me laugh. This is an interesting dynamic with the heel versus heel here. Mello with a handful of tights pinned to start. Grayson attempts the rolling stunner. With Grayson draping on the second rope, Mello with a fadeaway rebound leg drop to him. Fight on the outside leading to commercial picture-in-picture. Grayson takes charge. I can't hear what Trick is saying, but he hollering at the ref or Grayson or something. Mello with a unique way to escape an electric chair situation, pulling at Grayson's ears. I've never seen that before. Wade says Grayson knows how to piss everyone off like some Wimbledon guy he was comparing him to. These two seemingly equal. Great match. This is awesome, Chance. Grayson with that badass hopping over Mello into a kill switch like move gets a 2 3/4. Veteran instincts though by Mello to roll out of the ring after suffering a stunner. Trick gets in Grayson's way, so he can't have his running start to the stunner. Out of nowhere, Black Broccoli takes his ass out. Rolling stunner attempt foiled and countered into Codebreaker. Nothing but net. Mello retains. Pretty damn good match, Stix. What'd you think of this North American Championship match?
A match like this gives you hope that the future of WWE is going to be really good. Mm-hmm. Like you said, we had the rare heel versus heel match, and both guys showed out. This was a really, really good match to have sandwiched in the middle of the Great American Bash. And Mello having Trick paid off, which is why I think like if Grayson had Tiffany, it would give him a little bit of advantage too going forward. And we had there's still unfinished business between Wes and Trick, but just a little bit of enough interference to be able to stop Grayson to allow Melo to win. So really great match. These two are superstars in the making, and can't wait to see both of them going forward and see if Melo, if he continues to be North American champion, because I think this guy, whenever they call Braun up, they need to pass it to Melo. I mean, that guy could take it and he could carry it for months until they determine that he's ready to be called up. But hell of a good match. In the future of NXT, this is just a little bit of a glimpse. You've got some talent.
Doing the WWE math here, do you think this is setting up a possible Grayson Waller and Wesley teaming to take on Trick and Mello? Do you think they'll actually do that?
I really, really hope not. I would. It'd be very odd. It would be very odd. But like you said, WWE has done this before, so I don't know. Maybe. If I was them, I wouldn't do it.
It's a bad idea unless they're going somewhere creative with it. We'll see. But
Yeah.
Up next, scan here message appears. Being a rebel and lazy, I didn't do it. I checked Twitter. It's a message that says 8, 10, 11. If you scan it, Zion Quinn says he's box office. He hating on Apollo. Stix, what does 8, 10, 11 mean?
I was totally like you. I was lazy. I didn't scan it, but I did check Twitter because I'm lazy, but I'm lazy enough to chill.
But curious.
So I don't know. Maybe they're gonna have somebody debut. Is that on? I didn't even check the calendar to see what day 8, the 10th falls on. Maybe it's a Tuesday. I don't know. It's probably gonna be. I imagine we'll see another promo for it. Maybe the next one you don't have to scan for it. Who knows? But like you, I was lazy and I didn't even scan.
Well, August 10th is a Wednesday.
Oh.
If that's what it's saying, I don't know. Maybe it's. I don't fucking know. That's how big his dick is. Who knows what happens? We'll find out though. I'm pretty sure Caesar's got thoughts. Up next, Mandy interviewed about Roxanne's challenge. There is nothing significant but her titties. Chase U segments. He addresses the class about July 4th. Bodie is pissed that he didn't sleep because of Thea watching Money in the Bank, but you know they fucking. Chad pisses off Andre about Independence Day being on the 2nd. Thea suggests a field trip to London. I guess they're going. Thoughts? Stix? Chase segment?
Chase getting pissed off at somebody in every promo, gold. And too bad they're like what 2-3 months late. Maybe they could have met up with the honor roll man himself of Chase U, young Gretzky. You know, if they could have done this like 2-3 months ago, man, we would have had something. Angry, we would have had something. That would have been gold. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see they still throw Andre on there and Thea and Bodie. You know, the budding relationship between those two, and how Thea keeps beating up on poor Bodie. But it's nice to see Andre Chase and Chase U on our TV set.
I don't know, Stix. If had they have went to the UK when young Gretzky was there, wouldn't the universe would have collided? It would have been like past and future, look like colliding, or present and future colliding. It would have been a wormhole.
I would be here for it. I would have wanted to see it though. I'm always a guy who likes to see a little bit of chaos.
Fucking the multiverse opens and another Gretzky shows up and shit, like fucking it's a Gretzky's clone from APPW.
2 Bretskys, and we had to have having to do the tripod. I don't know what we would call that if we would have 2 Bretskys on here.
We'd call it the Chase U pod. I don't know. I'm not drinking.
Drunk Avenger.
Yeah. Up next is the tag team championship match. The Creeds versus Damon and Roddy. Of course, the Diamond Mine fighting within themselves. The Creeds showing off strength. Damon getting dominated. Roddy needs to slap this fool. Come on. Brutus cannonball attack to Damon on the outside. This is not smart. Always looks like he hurts himself during it. It's gonna be a cool move on 2K23 though. A commercial picture-in-picture. Julius all over Damon. Roddy gets the tag and a brawl breaks out. So it looks like Roddy and Damon take control. Wade scoffs at Vic for even mentioning Roddy being jealous of the Creeds. Roddy attacks Julius on the apron being shady and shit. Julius dismantles both these guys. Lariat to a sitting Damon for the win. A bit quick and not living up to the hype of what this could have been, if you ask me. Weird staring from Roddy to Julius as they all stand in the ring together. Stix, exciting tag team match, but like I said, could have been better. What'd you think?
It was a good tag team match. I thought of when I saw the Brute ball. I was like, man, if they put this on 2K, I cannot wait for an episode of APW and we see fucking Caesar cannonballing onto somebody. Well, I know Wade had made the comment about it. He's like, that's not very smart. You know, he could really hurt his ankles, and that could really hinder his career going forward. But he said it was a little weird. Like, I don't know if they're actually legit building towards maybe Roddy, them giving him his outright release, maybe. Even afterwards, the match, they're dapping up Damon. But yet when Roddy came in, you got that side eye from the Creeds to him. I didn't know. I mean, this had the excitement to be like a stellar tag team match, but it just didn't live up to it. So it was a good match. Continue. They look strong. And are we going to get a Roddy an individual or 2-on-1? Who knows? But it didn't live up to the mark like you said. So I agree with you. It was a good match.
I think, of course, this is just me thinking off the top of my head. Possibly Roddy turns heel, takes Damon with them. They fight the Creeds again, but this time they're legit heels versus the Creeds. Maybe Roddy does some shady ass shit and Damon has like a change of heart, like, the fuck, man, why are you doing that to them? And then I don't know, they push Roddy out somehow. Yeah, ever since Roddy requested his release, every week I see him, I'm like, poor guy, he just wants to leave.
Yeah, you kind of notice that. It's just like it's almost like he's just there.
He's just like in.
Yeah, and they know it. Like, well, you're here, so we're gonna pair Damon up with you and do this. Maybe towards the end, Damon joins the Creeds and they take Dynamite and they go forward and they out Roddy. But it just seems like he's just there. Like he's just a guy to fill. Like he's just like a guy to fill with the tag team, help Damon get some experience. But yeah, it's not the Roddy that we're used to.
That's not the Roddy I know. Next, Axiom Vid. He's a math guy. Who the fuck is it? Is this a new guy or is this a repackaged character?
I have no idea. I think they it's some weird go off for action, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't tell who it was. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head who it could be that they could repackage, but I guess we'll find out in the weeks coming forward, maybe.
I know what they're doing. They've got someone from NXT UK and repackaged them, and they're bringing them over here.
Yeah, with both of us not really paying much attention to UK, fuck, we don't know. I mean, if anybody who pays more attention to UK, they'd probably be like, oh, yeah, I know who that is. That's so-and-so. But with us engulfing so much wrestling, unfortunately, we put UK on the back burner. So you're more likely right.
It'll be new to us.
Watch me Nathan Frazier. They've already repackaged.
Just puts glasses on. They pput glasses on him. Oh yeah, he knows math now.
Him and that one chick that crunches the numbers.
Oh, that's
gonna be
true. Yep.
He'll come out with glasses and a fucking pencil in his in his fucking ear and a pocket protector, and she'll come out with that freaking Britney Spears 1998 schoolgirl outfit. They'll be like, the numbers said that NXT 2.0 needs us to help crunch the numbers and show that people with brains and smarts can be champions too.
You know, we have to do the tripod math here. It's something to do with math. It's gonna be an Asian.
Well, yeah, watch it as Io Shirai walks.
It's gonna be
on her way out. It'll be her.
I know. They give her a calculator. Yeah, just go out there and pretend you know math. It's gonna be Dante Chin repackaged or some shit.
Yeah, and then you'll get Bodie, and you'll be like, he'll put these numbers in a calculator. You'll be like, you know, these numbers say boobs, right?
Up next, White Khali, Mr. Stone, and their hooker pissed at the fans that White Khali does not have a match tonight. But then the street man tells him to quit bitching. And then there's a pull apart. I wish this match would have been on fucking Great American Bash, but it'll be for next week, I'm guessing. What do you think of that, Stix? The street man.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that street man wasn't on there. They're pretty high on him, and he's got some potential. So I was kind of surprised he wasn't on it, but at least he got on TV, and I guess we're gonna see him next week against White Khali.
Hopefully, and they got to get White Khali out of there. That guy has zero charisma, caveman forehead, all that shit. But
yeah, when you got to give him two people for mouthpieces, it doesn't look very good for your future.
That's true. Up next is the main event of the Great American Bash. It's for the NXT Championship. It's Braun Breaker versus Fine Cameron Grimes. Braun in the American flag singlet. Of course, the target is on the shoulder of Braun. Grimes and Braun actually wrestling. Braun uses his hurt shoulder arm to lariat the hell out of Grimes heading into commercial. Picture in picture. Grimes then goes to work on that injury. Braun doing his best to use his strength to throw Grimes around. This is awesome chance. I disagree. Every time Grimes does that collision course move, I wince. That move is too fucking dangerous. Imagine if they did that in AEW, there would have been 5 deaths by now. Grimes kicks out of the Frankensteiner. Grimes with a cave-in gets a 2.5. He tries to cave in off the second turnbuckle and gets speared. Braun retains. Meh. Oh shit, it's JD McDonald's. Attacks and puts Braun to the table. Well, we got something new out of it, Stix. What do you think of the main event of the Great American Bash?
It's only main event basically because it's the main title. Good on Grimes to get in the main event picture. Braun did a good job of selling the injury, but Grimes hits some cave-ins. Braun kicks out. We all knew going forward what was going to happen with this. I guess the bigger question is going to be what's going to happen with Grimes now going forward. And you were North American champion, you lost it. You parlayed that into a World Heavyweight Championship match, and you lost it. So are you getting called up, or now where are you going? Like, are you going to toil on the mid card, or are we going to get a shocking next? I don't know if you could say shocking, but next round of future endeavorments, and are they done with them now? I mean, I hope not. I think Grimes has potential. I think he could be a champion, but I guess I have more questions about where we go with Grimes now than anything. And JD showing up, we saw the promo, him saying next week, well, gotcha, bitch. I showed up this week. And he jumps Braun, saying that he's the necessary evil now for NXT. So, I mean, I guess we'll get a build up for a match, but I can't see JD beating him. I can't see that guy winning, but maybe they see something in JD that we don't. I don't know. I mean, he can go, but I just don't see him as a guy that could be a 2.0 heavyweight champion.
Listen, Stix, we know what's going to happen to Grimes. He's going to get called to the maximum male models, and he'll be known as Grime.
Well, no, we saw Dookie. He put a picture out, I think, on Twitter or Instagram,
Oh, he did?
basically saying he's a male model. So it's like, maybe we'll get that. Who knows? But I mean, maybe Cameron will be the future man that will titillate our juices of pleasure.
I guess he'll be called Duquois. No. Well, Stix, it's Wednesday nights, and you know what that means. It's time for a street fight for the TNT Championship. It's Scorpio Sky versus Wardlow. Of course, Scorpio Sky with his entourage. Scorpio shakes team's hands, but kisses Ethan Page. I didn't know if you noticed that.
Yep, sure did.
Scorpio with the strikes, Wardlow with the power. A low blow early from Scorpio slows down Wardlow, but does not stop him. Dan slaps Wardlow's back to distract. American top team swarms him. Commercial picture-in-picture, Scorpio in control. Brody's better chance. That was fucking funny. Wardlow with the hell of a swanton to Scorp. American top team attempt to attack again. He takes them all out, of course. American top team are now the putties. Scorpio clobbers Wardlow with the TNT title for a 2.5. Wardlow pushes Scorp into Dan, which knocks him off the apron, and then let the symphony begin. Oh boy, 3 power bombs later, we get yet another new TNT champion. We're getting another colorful belt, I guess. Stix, we're talking about ATW now, so it's time to start drinking. Go ahead, sir. Kick off the show.
Wednesday night. You know what that means.
What that means.
Crack open your adult beverages because it's time for, what'd you say last week? It's cluster
fucky man. See, I took one drink and it's already affected me. Cluster fucky man.
On point. I guess this is the thing that they did. They bookmarked their show with championship matches. But seriously, we all knew what was going to happen as soon as Wardlow called his shot. At least they made it a street fight so that way you could kind of have some fuckery, which would allow Wardlow to still look strong. But we all knew what was going to happen. Maybe we're lucky enough and they allow Wardlow to have a somewhat decently long run as TNT champ. Maybe he holds it until CM Punk comes back and he parlays it into a championship match. I don't know. But like we have said numerous times on this show, at what fucking point do you stop having this championship be passed around more than a cheerleader on prom night? I mean, what are we doing here? You have the TNT championship getting passed around so long, but yet the TBS championship has stayed on Jade for a pretty decently long time.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? Obviously, that probably tells you that they don't have very much faith in the women's division. But you've got to stop this fuck shit of passing this championship around.
I gotta be honest with you, Stix. I didn't know that was gonna happen. I thought this was going to be the start of a rivalry between Scorpio and Wardlow for the TNT title, eventually ending with Wardlow getting it. I didn't think he was going to get it that easy. I thought maybe, he hit him in the balls. He hit him with the title. They could have put him through a table. They could have hit him in the head with a chair. They could have done something. And maybe just to add an extra bonus wrinkle, what if Scorpio put the Dynamite diamond ring on and punched Wardlow? That would have, garnered some.
Let me ask you this. Wardlow took on fucking 50 security guards. And you're thinking a chair shot and a punch and a fucking coin shot was going to stop him.
Well, let's get creative here.
I respect you. I respect your wrestling knowledge. I respect your opinions. But this guy took on a fucking security team numerous weeks leading up to his match with MJF. And then after beating MJF, he had to take him on in a fucking plane in a security versus Wardlow match.
I mean, well, come on, Stix. They could have got creative. I know he took out 50 security putties, but they had the whole American Top Team. Scorpio could have pinned Wardlow, and they all could have fucking dogpiled on top of him, getting him the 3 count just to prolong this. Because I remember Scorpio saying he was going to hold on to that title for a long time. He was going to redefine that title and make it honorable again. And then what happens? Tony Skeets. Yeah, fuck it. Give it to Wardlow.
Like, angry. We're talking about Wardlow. We're talking about this has been written in the fucking on the wall in the skies for quite a while. And you thought they were gonna just go ahead and kind of halt this to do a rivalry with Scorpio Sky? Nah.
I want Scorpio to succeed, damn it. I wanted him to keep that title for a couple more weeks. Damn it.
The only thing I hope that happens out of this is maybe we'll get a Scorpio Ethan Page tag team run. But we're not even going to probably get that because my boy Ethan Page, all ego, is only shining on Dark and Dark Elevation. That's it. The only thing we get to see from Ethan Page on TV is his fancies. That's all we get to see out of Ethan Page on Rampage and on Dynamite.
Oh, plus he gets to make out with Scorpio Sky.
Well, yeah, that's a win-win too.
After a Mox video, we get Smart Mark with Tony Nese approach Keith Lee to sign a petition to get rid of Swerve. Keith walks off. I forgot what he said. Christian Cage out with Darksaurus. I'm just going to call him that because Luchasaurus does not fit him. Darkness Saurus. No. I've been drinking, folks. Matt Hardy interrupts, sticking up for Jungle Boy. This is, our captain. Salute. The captain shows up once again. Christian says, "You're starting to make your brother seem like the sober one."
The best thing out of this whole fucking exchange was that line itself. Yep. That right there wins Dynamite for the whole episode.
Hardy says Butcher and Blaze. Christian says Hardy uses everybody. He keeps taking cheap shots at Jeff. Fight breaks out. The Darksaurus beats the shit out of Matt. Chokeslam through table. Call Claudio the mailman because he always delivers. Short video package featuring all the blood and guts stuff. And then we get a interview. Tony interviews Jake, Hagar, and Claudio. It's a video promo, which probably helped Claudio out here with his confidence in promos. No disrespect, Claudio. Claudio claims he will be 3-0 after his match with Jake. Jake Hagar actually name drops Ring of Honor and WWE. I was like, damn. Claudio more confident promo, possibly because it was pre-taped. But Stix, let's start with our captain having the promo of the week yet again, and then the pre-taped Claudio and Jake Hagar promo.
One thing I like about AEW, and we've seen it with like MJF promos, and we saw it with this, they don't give a fuck about histories or about, family members with issues or being, I don't know, not alive anymore. So this has been the one thing that AEW that I like about is that they do give their talent free reign on stuff. Obviously, I imagine they got to check with each other before saying it. But Captain dropping another fucking nuke in a promo. Hey, he got that out there. Matt Hardy got TV time. Darksaurus looked strong. Win-win. And Claudio and Jake Hagar. I would assume that was obviously with being taped. Maybe Claudio was able to hit it all in one shot. I don't know. But Claudio looking strong, so maybe we can chalk that up to being in the WWE system for a while. I don't know. But I'm kind of looking forward to this match. I mean, more on the Claudio side than it is Jake Hager's side, but They made the reference. I think JR and Tony has made the reference that they used to be a tag team together. We all know where that came from. So AEW not afraid to shine light on the on a lot of wrestling.
People. No.
They're not afraid to shine the light on the past, even if it is with another competitor. Whereas WWE kind of likes to shy away from that. I don't know, but we're gonna have we're gonna have a Haas fight at Fyter Fest night 1. So we'll see where it goes.
Here's another problem, because like I told you before, I watching AEW is a chore. Sometimes, I'd say most of the times. My main bicker with AEW is the booking arrangements, the match arrangements. It's always been my biggest problem. But like we were talking about earlier, Stix, Wardlow murdered 50 security guards. But let's smash cut to a few months ago. Jake Hager and Wardlow had a MMA fight, which Hager beat him, and that was one man. So which is it, AEW? Is he unstoppable or is he not?
Well, that's the super sweet thing about wrestling. What you saw either last week, 2 months ago, two years ago, it's wrestling. They don't have to acknowledge a goddamn thing. They can scrub it and they can make it so that you saw it? Nah, didn't mean nothing. So if they really wanted to push Hagar, you could capitalize that, but he's essentially Jericho's right-hand man. So they don't want to hype that up because it'll ruin the run that they have with Wardlow. So like you said, AEW, the booker of the century, you don't make no mistakes.
You gotta imagine Claudio, maybe he handpicked Jake because he's worked with him before and he's comfortable with him. He's like, hey, let's me and you go now. I already took out Zack Sabre. Now let's get me comfortable here in ATW. Me and you will go at it. We'll cut promos, but we'll pre-tape them, because my English is no good.
Well, maybe they want to keep it kind of as like the dynamic between the Blackpool Combat Club and the Jericho Appreciation. Maybe they kind of want to keep this somewhat going because maybe they have something going larger picture. Maybe I want to have a little bit of hope in that. Maybe not. Maybe Claudio. Maybe they're just like, yeah, we don't have anything for Claudio, and Jake doesn't have an MMA fight yet. Fuck it. Let's throw you two together and let's just have it. You got history. You're not going to hurt each other too terribly. Let's go. We can get Claudio another win. Let's go. He can go 3-0.
Let's remember this moment right here, and then smash cut to 3 months from now when Claudio's facing Ethan Page on Dark Elevation.
Yeah, or Jake Hagar's main event in Rampage on Friday night.
Jesus, cutting promos. Up next, Butcher Blade with the Bunny versus Swerve in My Glory. Swerve botches a leapfrog on Blade. He jumped way too early. Bunny prevents Swerve from kicking Blade's head off while on apron. Commercial picture-in-picture, Butch and Blade all over Swerve. Swerve bites his way out of the corner and tags Keith in. They whoop up on Butcher and Blade, or Butcher and Blaze, according to Matt, until Blade pulls Swerve in the way of a running Keith Lee, knocking him out. Butcher and Blade attempt to take out Swerve, get a near fall, which was for sure 3, but the ref is shit. And the crowd let him have it too. Anyway, Swerve in their glory for the win. Ricky and P2H come out and they call them trick ass bitch. They say they are not on their level. Ricky all worked up, by the way. He was like, no, motherfucker, nah. Like, he was all kinds of fucking pissed. P2H was like, calm down, man. It's okay. It's okay. Ricky all worked up. The Cucks come out. They basically swinging their dicks around. Read it and motherfucking weep, they say. They beat Jurassic Express and propose a triple threat tag team match. How original. The crowd is chanting for FTR though the whole time. Stix, what'd you think of this? I mean, a lot happened in this tag team matchup and in the aftermath. What'd you think?
The only thing I'll say about this match is we got Butcher and Blaze and the Bunny on TV. So I'll just leave it on that. Moving forward, Ricky fucking Starks. This man, he first off, you can tell he's getting worked off. And then he hands his title to P2A, said, hold this, player, hold this. And he starts going off, essentially saying that they took mercy on Swerve and Our Glory from not murdering them on TV or on social media. Ricky Starks, my man, how this man is not. I know they don't acknowledge the FTW championship in AEW. Okay, how you do not have this man as a legit champion. This man should be at least a TNT championship. Because, I mean, you're passing that fucking thing around like fucking candy at Halloween. So how you haven't had this man have at least a week's title reign is just an atrocity. And then you get the young cucks out there. And by the way, it was MFing. Because them boys Christian AF. They out there swinging their Christian dongs around saying, oh, hey, by the way, you guys lost to the Jurassic Express. We beat them. Yeah, we probably weren't supposed to beat them because, Jeff decided to go on a Monday morning ride with his Irish coffee and, no license having ass. But, we went ahead and beat them. But also, too, hey, we came up with this company, so we decided, fuck it, we're going to be 2-time champions. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, we get Ricky Starks and P2H as your new AEW tag team champions. But more likely, it's probably going to go to Swerve and Our Glory. So,
Hey,
but not too bad. The best part of it was the aftermath match stuff. That was the best stuff.
Speaking of Christian AF, I'm going to be praying that we get to see Ricky 2 belts.
Give it to me. That will make Wednesdays worth the slog of Dynamite.
We get a Black Magic Crack of Shit video promo. Eddie, your mother. Out in ring with Tony. Eddie congratulates Wardlow and Blood and Guts team. He still wants Jericho's blood. Jericho on the Tron interrupts. Tay slams Ruby Woodpecker's arm in the car door. Okay. Yeah. It's fascinating. Stix, what'd you think of this shit?
Malachi Black envious that John Moxley gets to go against Brody. Eddie comes out, shows that he is a better human being. And AEW Botches got a sweet, nice little video for straight to fucking their account on Wednesday with that horrible Ruby saved that. I don't know between her saving it or if Tay kind of fucked up, but yeah, that man, they got to work on some stuff. But Ruby got her arm there just in time to get slammed in a car door. We're gonna get a match between Your Mother and Jericho, which I'm sure you'll say what we're gonna get it as going into Fyter Fest coming up here. And is it night 1 or night 2? I forget.
I don't remember. The only thing I was thinking this entire time, because I did the tripod math, is Ruby a lesbo?
I gotta think she is. I haven't seen anything that tells me that she is or isn't, but I gotta think she is.
Because Eddie was like taking it super personal. You hurt my Ruby. I was thinking, are they dating? But then I was like, Ruby's a lesbo, right? Are they just pals? Are they best buds? Do they take turns on Tay Conti in the back? You know, because they pass Tay around. She eventually gets to Eddie and Ruby. Do they tag team Tay? Like, is she swinging for both?
Maybe that's changing now because her and Sammy are getting married. I want to say I think the wedding's coming up because I see she's posted a bunch of pictures from a bridal shower and a bachelorette party. So maybe.
Wow. Eddie and Ruby sex tape. I do not want to see that. Up next, Dark Order with -1 out. Rochester is Dark Order country. They thank everyone for their support. They are here to stay. They starting a new chapter. -1 about to speak till QT comes out and that's right. Anyways, Hangman comes out. QT gets jumped. -1 says he'll pin QT when he's 19. I read on Twitter after this that they said that it kind of seemed rushed, this segment, but I mean, big ups to Brody Lee, of course, and Stallion Pete. I guess they're always going to do this. Brody Lee was incredible, and he never really got to reach his full potential. And I really do hope that -1 does stick with this and eventually becomes a wrestler a la Dominic. But Stix, what'd you think of this Dark Order segment?
It was I guess tickles the heartstrings a little bit. Mm-hmm. I thought it was nice that they had Hangman come out during this because it kind of keeps it that, hey, he's not an official member, but he kind of is. So I guess this is something you could have did. You could have showed as WWE sometimes shows the online exclusive footages. You could have did this. Like they even showed some footages of -1 from like Dark and Dark Elevation. You could have did this, but maybe there's a lot of people were online saying stuff because Alan Angels is gone, and then Stu, Don't Call Me Dick Grayson, is gone. So maybe you did this on TV to show, hey, these guys aren't going anywhere. They're the Foundation Six. They're the 6 pillars of Dark Order. I kind of would have liked to seen Anna. Whoa, Anna. Maybe have her say something, but she's just basically out there as just like, I would have liked to seen her at least do a move. Maybe kick QT Marshall in the balls. Maybe, I don't know. But it was something to kind of tug at the heartstrings a little bit, let you know that, hey, and myself also, I want to see this through. I want to see Brody Jr., see what he does, see if he stays with us. Hopefully he does. Because maybe he becomes somebody that AEW can put their hat on in the future. Hell, maybe we don't have to wait 19. Maybe when the kid becomes a teenager, maybe he starts showing up. I don't know. But nice little tug at the heartstring segment.
Once -1 turns 18, he's going that pinning QT isn't at the top of his list. Tapping Anna Jay is at the top of his list. When he turns 18, he's like, oh, you wait, girl. You wait. Soon as I'm 18, this mask is coming off and his dick is coming out.
No, we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that 2-on-1 Anna and Ty versus -1 tape that's gonna come out exclusively on your adult premium live event channels.
Well, I'm pretty sure by then, 10 years from now, there's going to be another like super OnlyFans where nobody gives a fuck anymore and everyone is just getting dirty as fuck. They don't care anymore, charging $5.
What would you call that? The future Mangria Field channel?
That's right. It's coming. It's coming. Watch. The women's division about to get risque. No.
Ooh.
Up next, JR joins commentary. Even he can't take a full episode of Dynatrash. Penta with Phoenix and Abraham Lincoln versus Roosh with Jose and Andrade. They chopping the chorizo out of each other to start. All kinds of strikes and luchonese here. Of course, he goes for the mask. Very original. Jose and Abraham fight. Phoenix and Andrade clash picture in picture. Roosh in control. Penta doesn't quite get all of a backstabber on Roosh in the corner. We get Headbutt City. I noticed that Roosh has the same back knee that Eddie Guerrero had. Talk about fucking random ass thing that I noticed. JR hammers the point that Roosh must win this match. They hit their cutter and super kick quota for the match. Andrade puts Roosh's foot on the rope, assisting him. Roosh rips off Penta's mask, then pins with the most deadliest move in all of sports entertainment. And my last thought of this is put a second mask on for Christ's sake. They're going to do it one day, Stix. They're going to do that one day. I guarantee it. What did you think of this match? Roosh's debut, right?
What's that?
It's Roosh's debut in AEW. Yeah.
Yes, it is. And as soon as I saw this match, I was like, they are going to ruin the fuck out of this match. Because just alone, if you would have took the guys out, and even if you would have had Penta with the second mask, this would have been a hell of a good match. And we were leading up to that until you had the fuck shit outside, and then the fucking pulling the mask. Because they even made the fucking, they even foreshadowed it. If this was in Mexico, if you take the mask off of another opponent, that's an automatic win for the man who gets unmasked. It's a disqualification. And it's just like, man, both these guys can go. JR putting the emphasis on this is more important to Roosh than it is. I can kind of understand that. This is his first match on legit cable TV. But you miss the opportunity to having a hell of a good match between these guys. I mean, this was leading up to it. Then you got the fuck shit of the unmasking, and then the Alex spearing Jose, the assistant, outside the ring. You even had the Andrade putting. You even saw it in the match. I mean, Penta, when he went to go do the package pile driver, he had to move over closer to the ropes, so that way Andrade could grab the feet. 1-on-1 between these guys, this would be a hell of a match. We both know that, and I think we got robbed of it. But hey, both the guys got on TV. America kind of got a little bit of a glimmer of what to see with Roosh. It was an okay match.
If Phoenix took on Roosh, it would have been a way better match. I mean, he would have got injured, but it would have been a way better match. Up next, we get a Jay, Sanjay, and Worst Khali promo. Did not take notes on that. Smart Mark and Tony approach Orange Cassidy to sign the petition. Orange Cassidy calls in his lawyer, Hausen. Tony gets pissed. Matt's set for Rampage. Orange Cassidy high fives the best friends. He just kept high fiving him. I thought that was pretty funny. Next, Gun Club and Acclaimed versus Job Squad. Ass Boys take Caster's mic, not letting him rap. Boo. Bowens with the Eddie forearm and elbow attacks. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but Bowens, I remember Eddie used to do that. The forearm, boom, and then the boom, boom, boom. I remember Eddie was doing that. I was like, damn, that's cool. I missed that. I love those attacks from Eddie. JR just said, listen. Fucking JR. Tranny Manson uglies up the ring as Bowens hits the float over Famouser, paying respect to Aesthetic. Mic drop by Caster. Austin Gunn tags in and takes the credit for the win. The Ass Boys attack the Acclaimed. Billy Gunn pretends to care and then attacks the Acclaimed as well. Holy shit, the Ass Boys theme is gay as fuck. Stix, what did you think of this? We got the end of that little stable they had going there.
First off, you don't ever listen. You don't interrupt Platinum Max when he's about ready to drop some fucking lines. Don't ever do that. And then we get you got the tension back and forth during the match, and then at the end we get the split apart. I'm actually kind of looking forward to this because it keeps both teams relevant on TV. Now, hopefully it's on actual like legit TV and not you have to go to YouTube to watch this TV, because this, I think, could be big to help propel the Acclaimed higher up in the tag team picture. Because I think they made the Ass Boys, they were on TV. They had been undefeated for quite a while. Then they suffered a loss. And then we got them and they Acclaimed together. So hopefully this does propel them, and hopefully maybe sometime down the road we get the Acclaimed in a tag team championship match, and they become tag team champions. But I'm gonna be happy for this because it's Max and Bowens on TV, so I'm not really mad at it.
Stix 316 says at least they got TV time. Up next, it's Thunderstorm versus Nyla and Marina. Marina has an umbrella. I took a shit. Thunderstorm won. Up next, Tony with Jade, Stokely, and Kira immediately starts with, Tony, cut the shit. Stokes recruits a baddie. It's Layla Gray. Of course, Jade not too happy with that. Danny Garcia interviews backstage, wants a shot at Wheeler for the Pure Championship. I got a follow-up question for you on that, Stix. But to begin with, did you see the Thunderstorm match? I didn't see it.
Unfortunately, yes, but let's keep it moving.
Okay. Tony with Layla Gray is a new baddie for Jade. What do you think of that?
Stix 316. She got TV time. Good for her.
Okay. Now I need to ask you, I know you watch Ring of Honor. What sets the Pure Championship apart from other championships?
There are different set of rules. When you hear them say Pure rules, there are different set of rules. You can't do closed fists. You got to do palm strikes.
Oh.
You can grab the ropes 3 times. 3 times. After the 3rd time, if you grab the rope, there's no rope break. They can keep a hold on as long as they want. It's basically more technical wrestling than it is actual like sports entertainment wrestling.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be a banger. If you end up watching it, I'm still debating on whether or not I'm gonna actually get it. But this match,
you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
Yeah. I know. You don't. Yeah. I know. Deep down inside, my drunk self, I will end up getting it. But this match will be a fucking banger of a match because both guys show no mercy and they're technical as fuck. So this will probably be one of the bigger shiny moments of that pay-per-view card. So
seeing that on paper, just seeing it on paper, I'm immediately pulling for Danny Garcia because I've seen his wrestling. I love it. Wheeler Yuta, we've seen him in Blackpool Combat Club. He's like the whipping boy. He has to bleed, but he does make the comeback at the end. So yeah, and then you just told me the Pure Championship. That's kind of cool. I like that. That's pretty badass. I like that. Damn, maybe that I might actually get motivated to watch it. I don't know. We'll see if Cesar has a code. Anyway,
if Cesar can get you a link, definitely at least tune in to watch that match.
Up next, FTR as well is going to take on the Briscoes. They're going to have a part 2 at that pay-per-view. What is it? The Death or Dishonor, or was it called?
Death by Dishonor or Death Before Dishonor. I don't know. Sure. Yeah.
The main event of Dyna Trash was for the AEW Interim Championship. Yeah, Moxley versus Brody King. Brody's dominating the start. Mox does take over by attacking the legs. I think this is the dude. Cesar says that he always has knee injuries. He's the thick neck cracker. He calls everyone cracker, but this guy specifically. Match slows way down.
There's level to crackerness with Caesar.
The crackerisms.
Yep.
Match slows way down. Picture in picture. Brody in control. I should have been drinking this whole time. Isn't Brody the dude with knee problem? Yeah, there we go. Great. They said they're sticking with this match till it ends. Maybe Sling TV will save me from this. Mox back rake over his 48 tattoos. Goat stomps to Brody. I could see Brody and Luchasaurus feuding in the future. That's where Brody should stay. Brody chokes out Mox from the turnbuckle. JR calls him Brody Lee. Officially in overtime, but Mox rear naked choking his big ass bulldog choke for the win. Stix. Like I said, with the match arrangements, I don't know. Maybe you're a bigger fan than Brody King than I am, but not a fan. Not a fan. I didn't like this. By the way, does the interim championship count as Mox being the first ever two-time AEW champion?
It should. Seriously, it should.
Yeah, it makes sense. What do you think of this main event?
The only thing I'll say about this is this might be Brody King's best match in AEW and probably his best match he'll have in AEW. Brody King is one of those guys that in a match like this or a fuck shit certified match, like anything goes matches, those are the ones that he excel in. And just a regular wrestling match, not so much. But John Moxley already doing a better job as AEW champion than CM Punk did. So, hey, good job on you, John. I mean, this guy's going to have to carry the torch and the ball for at least a couple months, and he'll be a better champion than CM Punk will be, because probably, once again, when CM Punk comes off the injured list, I would not be surprised if his first title defense, he gets injured again. So, but good on John. He made Brody look good. Look decent. And as a champion, you want your champion to do that. So, hell of a job, John. I can't wait to see you carry the torch and the ball going forward.
Now that we are done with This Week in Wrestling, now we can talk about the assignment that we had, Cesar and I. It was for the Great American Bash 1996. I checked it out on the cock. I hopped on that cock and I watched it. It was, wow. I've never seen that before. All that was new to me. Seeing the Big Boss Man, Ray Trailer versus John Tenta, that was funny. Both of them are dead, and just how crusty everything was. And I did not realize while I was tweeting about this that this was the precursor to the biggest thing that ever happened in WCW, the NWO. This was right before the birth of a new world order. It was interesting to see that, and yeah, Eric Bischoff getting power bombed off the stage onto a fucking inflatable raft underneath a table made of fucking plywood. That was funny. It's interesting. And then young Tony Schiavone commentating with Dusty Rhodes. Dusty is fucking funny on commentary the whole time. You crazy, Tony. You crazy. That was some good shit, man.
You have to admit, when I hand my guys a punishment, it's not truly a punishment. It's actually somewhat entertaining. So I look out for my guys. I look out for my guys.
Why did you choose that specific one?
Well, first we had Rey Mysterio and Dean Malenko. Mm-hmm. We had a Chris Benoit. Run-in. And we had the beginning of groundwork for what was going to be a big moment in all pro wrestling, sprinkled in with a young Tony Schiavone and that and that American Dream, Dusty Road, baby. So I figured that was enough in the pot to cook to allow my guys to have something entertaining to watch while having to be forced to watch it too. So
you know what's kind of funny is the same problem I have with AEW I had with this pay-per-view of the main event. It's like, what? This is the main event?
Yeah, that was the downside of it. I mean, that was you got a little peek into, if you remember, when you remember watching WCW, you got a little peek into what you're gonna see with AEW. Is that the card is somewhat decent. It has its ebbs and flows, but then when you make it to the main event, it's like this is only a main event because it's the heavyweight championship. That's the only reason why it's the main event. So
I like how Tony was wearing his prom tux on commentary.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I digress. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I attempted to bring back a segment. I attempted to bring back a segment from the past called Alcohol Recall. And I'll check right now in real time. Let's see how many suggestions we got. We got one. And it's from old Big Carpe himself. He wanted us to alcohol recall the NXT TakeOver New Orleans match between DIY, The Revival, and the Authors of Trash for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Stix, did you give this some thought?
Was this New Orleans? Was it Orlando? Did they wrestle twice?
I Googled it and it said Nolans, so I don't know.
Okay. Because did Authors of Trash retain in this three-way match?
Yeah, they did.
What I would have done, and obviously because of present time, I think if I remember right, which is my fucking memory is that of a gnat. We were coming off the heels of a Authors of Trash and DIY championship match, and the Revival somehow got their way into this match and made it three-way. I would have had it so that the Revival was very, very pissed off that they weren't thought of as being a team that should have been in this match. And I would have had the Revival win. Like, I would have had them win. I would have had them have the match that this would have been a match that would have had the Authors of Trash by, okay, you boys, main roster. And then we could have had a series of tag team matches between DIY and the Revival, or even the Revival with other tag teams. That's the way I would have done it. But, NXT, they went a different way. I couldn't be mad at it because our boy Trips was running it. So, but I would have done it that way. How would you have booked it differently, leading up to it and post-mortem?
Well, I could be wrong, and Cesar is probably going to yell at me, but this might have been the night where Ciampa turned on Gargano, starting the most epic storyline of all time. I could be wrong. And like you said, Trips was booking it, so he knew what he was doing. But if you hand it over to us and the tripod is alcohol recalling this shit, I agree, Stix. I think this should have been the Authors of Trash swan song. And I think DIY should have won. I think DIY should have won, prolonging that story, and have Cash turn on Dax. So it was there. They had different names back then, but I'm just going by the names now. Cash turning on Dax and having those two put on a clinic. Because like you said, they felt disrespected that they weren't looked at as worthy enough to be in such a important match like this. Well, what better way to put yourselves over than by having your own storyline with each other, having them take on each other? Because when Gargano and Ciampa turn on each other, they elevated big time. They became the faces of NXT. That was the rivalry of the year. We'll be talking about that rivalry forever. However, what if history rewrote itself, and it was Dax versus Cash, because we know where they could go, and they needed personality and they needed a story. If history was rewritten to have them feud instead, I know building up to it, it didn't seem that way. Building up to it, there might have been some tension between Ciampa and Gargano, but building up to it, had Cash and Dax had some tension, and have them fight each other, and have Bret Hart whack off to them back then. See, they could have been more important back then, possibly changing the trajectory of their careers in NXT and in the main roster. But I would have loved to have seen, just because this is a recall, I know what happened should have happened because of what we got. But if you're asking us to rewrite history, I would have Dax and Cash feud to make them stand out, make them more noticed by a Mr. McMahon or whoever was booking in the main roster back then. Take notice of these guys, take them more serious so they won't be shaving their backs in the fucking bathroom. Putting more respect on their names. That's what I would have done.
That would have been a big swerve, because if they would have kind of put the emphasis on DIY, like possibly them being like, it would have been one of those things that we see in wrestling that, oh, they're gonna break up. When's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? And then we get to when we think the culmination of the breakup's gonna happen, and then Trips is like, you think this is gonna happen here, but guess what? Let me give you a revival turn. That would have been big. I mean, that would have been a swerve that we wouldn't have. But since we have a little bit of time, since Cesar wasn't here, what would have been one that you would have liked to, outside of this one suggestion that we got? Was there something that you would have liked to see that when you were posting this, that you had in the back of your mind that's like, I hope somebody says this? Was there one that you would have liked to see?
Oh, Stixy Drip Trip over here, man. Oh, he not only does he predict matches and pay-per-views correctly, but he predicts exactly what I was gonna do next. I have two. And one is from you. From when we did this segment originally, neither of us picked it, I don't believe. I'm gonna swerve you, buddy. You asked for us to alcohol recall the Bar versus Braun Strowman and Nicholas at the WrestleMania for the Tag Team Championship. Stix, what would you have done differently?
I would have had the Bar squash the fuck out of that kid and Braun Strowman. Because let me tell you what, the Bar is way better than those fucking two. I would have had him do that, and then I would have had each one of them hold that little kid as the other one beat the Jesus out of Braun Strowman, and then I would have had them prolong that until we maybe the next pay-per-view going forward. You would have had Braun Strowman be like, you know what? Since you two did that, I want a match, but I'm not going to tell you who my opponent is. And then you would have had them run it back in the next pay-per-view. And then you could have had them beat them, maybe. I don't know. I would have had the Bar at least lost the shit out of them, because knowing them, they probably couldn't have really done much to the kid, but I would have had it so that kid had to sit back and watch and get systematically destroyed by your boys from the Bar.
Okay, since you went that direction, I'm gonna go in a completely different direction then. CBG shows up. No, I was kidding. So during the match, okay, we'll have the same outcome, but we'll tweak it a little bit. We'll tweak it a little because Vince McMahon, he hates tag teams. Fuck that guy. And the women he paid off. But I digress. How about this? We'll stick with their WWE bullshit, the WWE math, if you will. So Cesaro and Sheamus beat the motherfuck out of Braun. They dominate him. They throw him against the steps. They throw him in the crowd, put him through the announcer's table. They dominate the fuck out of him. And then Cesaro gets Strowman, King of Swing, spins him around, not 10 times, not even 20 times, 30 times. Braun Strowman is spun. Cesaro, he's just showing off, but little does he know, it's harming him. And Sheamus is just on the corner, like hamming it up for the camera, going to the crowd, going, "Ooh, your hero's getting beat." Ooh, not paying attention at all. Cesaro, after the 30 spins, he's dizzy as fuck. Strowman manages to roll over and tag Nicholas, or Nicholas tags himself in. Cesaro is just like, oh, and he falls. He falls over in the middle of the ring. Fucking Nicholas goes, pins Cesaro. They win that way. Sheamus is pissed. Sheamus bro kicks Nicholas. Sheamus bro kicks Nicholas. Long-term storytelling a la Dominic. Nicholas gets into wrestling, faces Sheamus in 10 years. Book it.
That would have been good. I would have preferred that than the actual outcome that we got.
And then the next one is perhaps the subject me and Cesar will butt heads on forever. He hates the Fiend. He hates him. He hates him. He can't wrestle. He's never put on a good wrestling match. He hates him. I, on the other hand, loved his character. I loved it. Perhaps maybe not the wrestling as much, but the character was intriguing. It brought eyes to the TV. It made kids cry and parents complain. I love the dark, maybe because I'm a horror movie fan, and this guy kind of portrayed a horror movie character. And the Firefly Funhouse, we all thought it was stupid at first, but then it blew our minds. The evolution of this character, I'm going all the way back to the WrestleMania I attended, WrestleMania 31, where Bray Wyatt took on The Undertaker. I'll go first. I would have had Bray take out The Undertaker and end. Well, his streak was ended already. Just take out The Undertaker. Building Bray's character from there. And then going forward, giving him a chance to match the streak. Not break it, match the streak. I wanted bigger things for Bray Wyatt. He had the character. It was entertaining. It wasn't the best wrestling in the world, but it was entertaining. And the company's called World Wrestling Entertainment. So they nailed it. They nailed an entertaining character. I'm pretty sure Bray had way more to do with it than any other creative. But just building a new character, someone that is intriguing, fascinating, didn't lose to Goldberg and Saudi. We could bring the Fiend, like Bray will still be a badass mystical character, but I think him defeating The Undertaker at WrestleMania 31 would have started something great. And eventually leading to this Fiend character would have made him even more powerful and threatening. And the last time we saw him with Alexa's face melting, and I really would have wished they would have kept Bray Wyatt. Just give him all the control. I'm pretty sure he had everything to do with that Firefly Funhouse. Maybe he had a writer's help or whatever, but that was intriguing. I loved it. I loved the character. I was entertained. That SummerSlam when he came out against Finn blew my fucking mind. I loved it. I loved every second of it. But I digress. Stix, WrestleMania 31. Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker. Bray coming down to the ring, scarecrows all over the place. Would you have done something different, or would you have maintained the course?
I agree with you, but let's just go ahead with this. Bray wins. Bray beats The Undertaker. The Undertaker joins the Wyatt family.
Oh,
You get Bray and Undertaker together, but at a pay-per-view that would play into both. The Undertaker, somehow before we get to Survivor Series, turns on Bray. Survivor Series, Bray Wyatt, Undertaker. Undertaker gets his win. That projects Bray into the Fiend character. And then we get the Fiend going forward to today and a little bit better. That's how I would have done it. Because I would have built up to Survivor Series. Because Survivor Series, I think, would have been a perfect playground for Bray, Undertaker. The promos, like if he turns on Bray a month before Survivor Series, the promos between the two going into Survivor Series, and then the culmination, Undertaker gets his win back, and then it messes with Bray so badly that we get the Fiend. And then maybe we could do the Fiend differently. He wrestles a little bit better. Regardless, maybe we get the Fiend a little bit before we get the Fiend. And you do give Bray his creative control over the character. We get a little bit more out of the Fiend, promotional wise, cinematic match wise. Maybe we get that. But that's how I would have did it. Yeah, Bray gets the win. You get Taker with him. I think he helps elevate Undertaker's character a little bit more creatively. And then we get the culmination at Survivor Series.
we don't give Bray enough credit, by the way. You remember leading to that fucking match, Undertaker never showed up. It was Bray every week coming out. Undertaker, fuck you. Undertaker, let's fight. Undertaker. And nothing from the Undertaker until WrestleMania 31 and Taker comes out. Like, Bray can carry shit. He's smart. He's creative. And what you said right there, him joining the Wyatt family, oh my God, that would have been amazing. Good Lord. And then, having maybe Taker can be like the Ric Flair to Triple H, Taker to Bray. Oh man, that would have been incredible. But that's Alcohol Recall, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully,
hold on. Let me give you one. This is most recent. And when you did that post, let me give you one.
Okay.
And this most recently, we had CM Punk, Hangman Adam Page. Instead of CM Punk winning, of course, the unanimous selection would have been Hangman Adam Page winning. Hangman Adam Page wins. Maybe he does a title defense or two, but leading up, maybe a month, maybe 2 weeks before, I think their next pay-per-view's All Out. Hangman Adam Page doesn't have an opponent. He comes out and he says, I don't have an opponent. Who in the AEW stratosphere do you think I should face? All of a sudden, you hit the music. I am the battle cry. Kenny fucking Omega is back. Kenny Omega walks out, struts out the ring just by himself. We don't get no Don Callis. We don't get the elite. He strolls out, and they strategically have a huge TV screen, and it says All Out, September, 24th. Kenny Omega stares him deep in the eyes, lowers the sunglasses, looks at him, points to the TV screen. All Out. Turns around, walks out. That, Mangria, is how I would have done my Alcohol Recall.
Wow, okay. That's a good one. Prolonging, making the Omega Hangman, 3, right? It would be the third time they face at all. Yeah, that's.
And this is totally on Kenny Omega being healthy, no setbacks, nothing. This is totally on him trajectory and hoping and fingers crossed that he can make it to All Out.
Oh man, okay. All right, okay. You want to talk about impossible? You want to talk about alcohol recall? Here we go, buddy. Strap in. Yeah, Hangman defeats CM Punk because come on. That was awful. I'm glad I didn't get that pay-per-view. Hangman, because if you think about it, I've read online, of course, from the people who don't like AEW, that Hangman's title reign, little lackluster, but defeating CM Punk could be a great notch in his belt. And he can tell, and maybe they shake hands. You know what? CM Punk's like, the better man won, which will make me like CM Punk a little bit more. Okay, he did the honorable thing. Hangman, he just became a little bit more legit. Worlds Collide was the next step. It's AEW versus New Japan, right?
First off, Forbidden Door. Come on. Open that door.
Hangman's in the middle of the ring with the AEW championship. He goes, you know what? Everybody has a match. Everybody's booked for Forbidden Door. Tony Skeets, you didn't open the Forbidden Door wide enough. There's got to be somebody out there. There's just got to be. Roman Reigns answers the challenge. They thought it was New Japan versus AEW. Roman Reigns walks to the ring. Twitter burned. They burned to the ground. Twitter burned to the ground. The entire crowd orgasms. Roman Reigns face to face with Hangman. And you got Roman and Paul Heyman. You got the Usos. We the ones. You the twos? We the ones. Roman takes out his undisputed dick, slaps it across Hangman's face. This is the Forbidden Door, right? Well, the door's wide open. Acknowledge me.
Welcome, Hangman, welcome to the island of relevancy.
Oh, man, could you imagine if they kicked that Forbidden Door wide open? Imagine what could have happened. That would have been amazing. And of course, Roman beats him.
I speaking of that, I had saw somebody put a Twitter post out of like talking about actually like Forbidden Door and talked about the somehow the working relationship that WWE had with AEW. Like you saw the AEW had allowed like Jericho to come talk on some stuff for WWE, and the WWE had allowed some of their guys. That would have been pretty huge, man. That would have probably burned the screw down, man, if that would have happened.
That would have been incredible. Hopefully one day, I mean, Vince is going to have to be removed, but hopefully one day that does happen. The Forbidden Door concept is awesome. I liked it. Maybe not so much with New Japan. Maybe they should have brought in more Impact, the Ring of Honor guys to bring, all the, like they said, Forbidden Door. Let's bring in a whole bunch of more people because AEW dominated Forbidden Door. Kind of felt bad for New Japan, but I don't watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was entertaining alcohol recall. There was, let's see, the over-under in interruptions was under 10, so that's good. So we got through the whole show. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Always tune in to APPW content. As a matter of fact, while you're watching this, Sunday Night Ski will be dropped, so you can check that out. Heading into Money in the Stank, where your boy, the Miracle from the Hurt Business, Stixy Drip Drip, has the opportunity to become Mr. Money in the Stank this year. Stixy Drip Drip, you will see him at that pay-per-view coming up next week. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Julius Caesar. Shout out to the great Bretsky. He is alive. He shall be returning soon. Caesar will be back next week. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, big ups to Stallion Pete.